So our session this afternoon, Advanced Press Technologies, a business case for the corrugated segment. Our session chairs, Jack Fulton from Printron and Jeff Rosnick from Great Northern. Please welcome Jack and Jeff.
Thank you, Ann. Oops. This working, I've got to turn it on. Right. Everybody hear me okay? Yes. All right, great. Thanks. My name is Jack Fulton. This is our co-chairman, Jeff Rosnick. And we're excited to be here today. Thank you for the Forum Committee for giving us the opportunity to try to present some information to the corrugated direct print industry, as opposed to them coming here and just learning from everybody else. We're going to be specific for some of these corrugated guys and gals, excuse me. So anyway, we're excited that everybody's here. The idea for this session came from a seminar that I used to operate about 20-some years ago. And it was for companies in the box business who wanted to get into the graphics marketplace but just didn't know how to go about it. And one of the best, well, it was well intended, but one of the feedback we got, one of the highlights were the press manufacturers that would come and talk about their equipment. And it was a lot of fun. But today, the technology that these folks are going to tell you about is better than it's ever been. And I've been around this business for a long time. Nobody needs to really ask that question either. Dave's over there going, "You were in high school." Yeah. But it really truly is. And these are the folks that have it, so they're gonna share it with you. I had some other things here to say about the reminders, but Ann took care of that. When we're finished, when the last presentation is done, we will have them come up and we're going to present some questions that Jeff has prepared. Kind of get a discussion going. We'll welcome your questions when we're finished, and we'll kind of open it up and let it go from there. But we want everybody to have a good time and get the information from these folks that they have. One of the presentations is not on that jump drive that we got when we registered, and if you didn't register for the forum, if you just came for today, you don't have that. So if you will give me your business card at the end of the day, I will make sure that you get all three presentations. Okay. All right, let's start. Our first speaker is Martin Corral. A sales manager for Koenig & Bauer. Martin is responsible for all corrugated sales in North America. He has 30 years of experience in North America and Europe, working for a variety of corrugated press manufacturing companies. Martin has in-depth knowledge and is well known and respected in the corrugated industry. I'm sure you probably all know Martin, but Martin, it's all yours.
Thank you, Jack. Good afternoon. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation, the FDA coming here for this presentation. It's just a few months ago that in 2017 at the FEFCO meeting in Vienna, Koenig & Bauer has announced to enter the sheet-fed corrugated market. So I think it was an honor to present the Corrugated, which is the latest machine we're coming out with. A machine which was developed to the special needs of producers for the high quality flexible print market. The Corrugated, the first Corrugated, is in the process of being built for the and being delivered by early 2019 to a German corrugated manufacturer. Before I go to the machine, I'd like to, since many of you are in the corrugated industry, what Koenig & Bauer is all about. Koenig & Bauer is a technology leader, the second largest producer of printing machines in the world, and we are known in sheet-fed offset, for the sheet-fed offset presses. Koenig & Bauer is also known in the newspaper printing business. So one of the fields we are in, the revenue, just saw it, it's about 1.5 billion last year, and about 5,500 employees. We are in the banknote printing business, so pretty much every one of you who has a dollar bill and it's in your pocket, most likely it was printed on a Koenig & Bauer machine. We're also positioned in the digital business and being part of this. Again, the newest addition is the Corrugated, and I'd like to introduce you now to the Corrugated. The Corrugated is the new rotary die cutter, and it's a high quality post printer, high board line, fixed frame architecture machine. The servo drive technology is from Bosch Intermat. KVA has the controls as well from Bosch, and it has an HMI interface, which is also connected with predictive maintenance. So not just preventive maintenance, it also has predictive maintenance. I'm in a unique position here because Corrugated is in the process of building, so I cannot actually show you at this moment the machine because it has just started. Gives you here a picture of animation of the machine we're building. As I said, it's a fixed frame architecture machine. No more opening and closing of the print unit. Some of the technical specifications of the machine: it's a 60-inch circumference machine, sheet length, minimum sizes and maximum sizes. You see here a very common size for the US market, which is the 110-inch. We're also building wider machines, which are 126. We're also going down to 94 inches. I just took the specifications for the 110-inch machine. Some of the highlights here of the technical features of the machine: it is at 12,000 sheets, maximum speed rated. Nominal steering height is 185, but the range is in around 3 millimeters. So we're talking about 120th of an inch, where you can have the flexibility of changing the printing thickness. So what's special on the machine, going above and beyond that it is a servo machine? We are coming out with this machine as a belt feeding machine with no feed rolls. So we got rid of the feed rolls, and the reason for this is that we think that the feed rolls have a certain impact on the quality of the board. It decreases the ECT and VCT values of the machine, and that's what we like to eliminate with taking out the feed rolls out of the machine. Maintaining excellent registration accuracy. We're talking about the registration accuracy of about 0.25 millimeters, or about 10 thousandths of an inch. It also gives the possibility to use lighter weight papers, and this is probably for some of you interesting, some more, some less, but it is definitely an environmental impact with this there as well. One of the other things which will be new on the machine, and you see it's a typical flexor bottom printing machine in a fixed frame architecture. The machine will have the capability also, and you see this here, to do top printing as well, and it is a fully servo-driven unit then as well. So bottom printer and top printing as well. Some of the things which are important for you using different substrates, using different line screens and the different full coverage printing capabilities, it is that it is necessary to change analog sorts. Analog sort change mechanism is fully automatic, so you can change from one analog sort to another tool-free and without the intervention of an operator within 3 minutes. The maximum storage capacity inside one printing unit is about 3 minutes. And again, typical necessary that you have when you're going from a craft liner to high-order paper, definitely a must to change analog sort fast. Plate stretch capability, as I mentioned, it's plus one, it's a range of 3 millimeters. Using that. Ink conditioning system is part of the machine. It's an optional thing, and it is definitely including also temperature control. Drying capability and plate ink capability as an option as well. Inspection, register control, and auto setup capability. fast and reliable startup after order change, important for quality changes. Since we believe die cutting is not the only part of the equation, we also believe that the stacker is an integral part of a die cutting machine. The stacker, we are building our own stacker, which only handles the sheet from above. So coming out of the labor section, we are pulling the sheet from above all the way through to the batching and having a control motion down in the stacker or batcher part of the machine. Top back to main line, that's what you see there. Don't have a picture of that, but again, I know that the machine, as I mentioned before, will be built, and we can invite you to come out to the demo center end of the year and to see the machine at our facility in Dre. Koenig & Bauer is located here in the States, in Dallas, Texas, where we have our training, service, and parts center. And an important part of about $20 million in parts, right on the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, and again, an important part how to service the market here in the United States is we want to encourage you to see the machine when it's built in the demo center in the fourth quarter of this year. Thank you very much, and we'll come to the questions, I think, at the later end.
Martin, thank you very much. I'd like to introduce Andre Gottfried. Andre is the CEO of Gottfried, and Andre has an engineering degree from the German University of Applied Sciences and lives in Bavaria, Germany. Thank you.
So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I tried to make a very visual presentation to describe the fundamental needs to be a successful printer on corrugated sheets or boxes. Basically, it's pretty simple to produce a nice printed box. All you need is corrugated sheets. It doesn't matter if e-food or double wall, a set of print plates, ink, electrical power. Ideally, a Gottfried machine. You start with CMYK or maybe some other spot colors, varnish on top, and here we go. You get a nice shiny print offset meets litho. Flexo meets litho. And if you don't think that's so easy, wait until I finish my presentation. I'll let you know why it's so easy. If you look to your daily life, it's full of corrugate. It's surrounded by corrugation. It can start at 6 a.m. in the morning, you open the first box, and of course, all you think at this time, oh, what a nice dial print sheet or box. At 7, you get yourself ready to get to work, but you got to feed your dog, so you got the next box in your hand. It's 1 p.m. lunchtime, you go to the supermarket, and you, at least in Europe, you find tons of corrugated around you. 7 p.m. you get home, you play with the kids, or the kids play with corrugated, as they should. 8 p.m. you open the box, you order at lunchtime, and then you get your special unboxing experience, which is printed inside with 5 colors and 1 color outside. In the last couple of months, we had some requests for inside and outside print, created most of the time from the e-commerce market, and it seems to be a new trend. Is it really new? No, it's not. Back in '99, we had a special marketing concept with Procter & Gamble. We printed inside on a 4-color Evolution, nice 4-color print, and outside it was a litho print. Anyway, it was a pretty successful marketing story, and as far as I know, this was the first and only box in history which was in several advertisements in TV. You might have seen it. And was promoting a box instead of promoting the product. And I tried to pull out this old video, it's real old tape digitalized. Have a look.
No, another house. Box. Box. No, house. No. Oh. Now there's a house printed inside every country's jumbo box to make them collect. Look, house. No, box.
It's funny that the advertisement said there's a house printed inside this box, isn't it? A couple of years ago. Well, in the following slides you can see typical setup of a supermarket in Europe. Shelf-ready boxes, vegetable trays, containers, octobins, meat package, cheese package, soft drink, wine, chocolate or sweet packed in nice displays. Most of them are straight print to corrugated. We are surrounded by millions of square feet of available advertisement surface and capabilities. Let me go a little bit back into history. Back in the 80s, brown box with some logos, some arrows up, please don't flip. Your customer basically could order each color except it was black. In the 99, the industry really started to change and get more colorful, but still it was pretty basic compared to today. And 2018, flexo meets offset. You hardly can tell the difference today on the point of sales. But where's the meeting point, ladies and gentlemen? The meeting point is somewhere around 150 lines per inch. That is where basically the offset starts and the flexo is facing certain limitations. Anyhow, what does limitation mean? What does HQPP mean? Is HQPP a 6-color plus varnish, mainly block print, like seen here? Or is HQPP a 2-color gold and black with maybe 2 spot varnish on top? Or is HQPP a 6-color plus varnish holdout paper, 150 lines per inch? Maybe no block print or minor block print involved? My honest answer? It doesn't matter if you have a 2-color or a 6-color artwork. All you need is perfect registration over all colors. Precise setting of all nibs in your press. If you are able to keep registration, you are able to meet your color space CMYK up to, let's say, 65 to 70%, and that's very conservative. I would say it's even higher, but on a presentation like this, I've got to be conservative. And with 5 to 6 colors, you are basically on 100%. If you are able to hold this, you are there. Here's some statistics out of our users. 5 to 10% of the users have artwork between 120 and 150 lines per inch. 40 to 50% between 85 to 120 lines per inch, and the majority in corrugated is 35 to 60%, and it's below 85 lines per inch, and block print involved, because that's the mass production. I mean, corrugated is not just like graphics. At the beginning of my presentation, I showed you how easy it is to do flex approach print. You just need the corrugated sheets, the print plate, the inks, the machine to be successful. I would like to go over these topics a little bit more in detail. I would like to explain what we did to help you to get your process better and easier under control. First of all, I would like to start with the printing machine. And again, what's the fundamental need? What's the fundamental need of the machine? The fundamental need is highest registration during the whole process. And this starts already while setup. How fast to reach your target, while speed change, while washing your plates, while stopping the machine and startup. You gotta be always in perfect registration afterwards. You want to print fine lines, like here the whiskers of the cat, and you have to have really good registration. They are made in CMYK negative. But what is the secret about highest registration? First of all, the sheet needs to be transported flat through the machine. With a vacuum transfer and high friction belts to keep the port tight to the transport, as you can see here in the schematics. Combined with 100% servo technology on each single shaft, we can reach the accuracy you need to be successful. The other fundamental need is, of course, the setting of the nib. Your gaps needs to be very sensitive. The most important axes are pressure between Allen roll and top pressure. In order to get a reproducible and no dot gain on light dots below 10%, and here's a magnified dot, you will find a clear round dot here on 150 lines per inch. Or if you want to print high resolution, like magnified here. We covered pretty much the fundamental needs of the machine, and let's look to the paper side. The beauty of direct print on corrugated is that you can run from E-through to double wall on any kind of substrate. From recycled paper to kraftliner, white top, high holdout, coated substrates, it doesn't matter. To be able to run all these kinds of substrates, you need to be able to change analog rolls in a machine as fast as possible. We developed a system being able to change the rolls for all kind of mentioned papers. The system itself holds 3 analog rolls per unit, basically because of the paper grades, recycled, Model Y, coated. And you are able to change the rolls within 3 minutes, fully automatic, after washup, tool-free and without having a single person involved. Here's a little video to explain. So the operator pushes the button or the program takes it out of the storage. The drive connection will be released, as you can see here. We open the flap where the chamber duct plate is sitting. On the other side, then the split bearing is open. The roll is transferred automatically out of this robot arm and system. And now I made a little cut here. The roll is already down on the chamber where the other rolls are in place to change. It's being closed. It's a safety issue because basically the operator could mount plates while change. So the right roll is gonna brought out for the right substrate, and basically it's all the same way back. It's going back in. The beauty, it's 3 minutes for, it doesn't matter, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors after wash up on a push of a button. That's pretty much about what we helped to on the paper. Let's move to the print plates. After the print plates are mounted into the units, the operator needs to get all colors in registration. And we developed a system called dimension control, which allows to do a fully register setup without any knowledge of the operator, how to set a press. How is this possible? We are printing register dots on the lead edge of the sheet and on the trail edge of the sheet, and they are in perfect match with the whole image to the crossings. And what does registration mean? Anyhow, I gotta explain it. It's obviously cross-registration, it's the running registration. I talked about the angular adjustment, and before I explain the last register point on this chart, I would like to go more in detail about skew printing plates. Why is it necessary to skew plates anyway? The print plate manufacturers claims that their plates are perfectly mounted, and I certainly can tell you steel is dead straight. So, but somehow we need to angle plates. And the printing plates are made out of flexipolymer, obviously, and it's flexible material. And we found over many years that the print plates creates a couple issues. In 90%, it's just misalignment of the operator while he or she is pulling the print plate in a certain direction while mounting on the press. And second, if you're maximizing your working width to a good extent and run multiple outs, you will find slight variation from color to leadage. That's the reason we have these two plates. The nice thing is with our system, it has it fully automatic, as you can see here on the sign, for example. So the crosshair and the dots are always moving with the same way. Last but not least, the register, we call it APM. It's elongation of the print. What does it mean? Especially if you have a large surface block print combined with a small surface block print, and you need to match those, you will find some length variations. With our system, the so-called APM, we are able to shorten or elongate all colors or a single color, as shown in the example. By the way this function allows you to run different plate heights as well with the same undercut of the machine. But coming back to the registration after setting the print, and the result of the first print sheet would look like this, and it should look like this. So it's easy for us because with the camera we compare actual values and target values and do a fully automatic setup on the press. And that's how it looks. So on the right, the blue ones, you see the elongation that I explained. The magenta is the side skewing. The yellow is easy, it's running register, and the black one is side register. So it's fully set up automatically. Let's make a short summary on this. We don't rely on any operator skill, how fast he or she is able to set a 2, 3, 4, or 8 color job. It's done in 5 minutes anyway, fully automatic, and we are able to run different plate heights too. I think we pretty much covered the plates. Let's go to the inks, and there's really not much I can talk about inks. Every ink supplier has its own recipe, and Miraculix is mixing the inks and put some increments in. You as a user should not touch the recipes at all, but you can make sure that your ink is always stabilized in the way it should be, like your ink manufacturer is saying. So the most important thing is to keep the inks on your target temperature. Due to the fact that all modern machines working with chamber doctor plate and vacuum transfer, the solvent water evaporates pretty quick. And if you put too much water back into the system to stabilize your viscosity, your pH value will drop, because water has a much lower pH value than the ink has. And for that reason, you need to check the pH value as well. We developed a system ourselves where the operator just needs to set cruise control. So he really doesn't need to set anything. Cruise control, temperature, viscosity, pH value will stay at the same level as the ink supplier applied. I think we're pretty much through to get the last step to be very successful. And we covered all major things, in my opinion. But what does your client want? He wants to have 0 defect. That's the most important thing. He wants 100% quality. They expect that the first and the last sheet of the press looks the same. They expect 0 defect in color shift. They expect 0 defect in registration. Your customer expecting 0 defect of damages of sheet, or the print image is getting full of dust. But how can you ensure that only good boxes will leave your factory? You have to control them, or use our APC system. Not only to control them, but to check them. To check each single sheet. How does this work? It's a camera which is scanning each individual sheet at full speed and full width of the machine. A very unique program compares the actual sheet and the target sheet, the golden master or the golden template, however you will call it. And as you can see here, 12/11/09, that's made in 2009, so we are pretty long in this technology already, having full sheet inspection system on our machines. On those slides, you can find some detected faults marked in red and shown as an error. Like here, it's white, and those sheets will be diverted at the stacker area. Here's a little example of those detected sheets. So you will find mainly bed and crushed board in this example, or ditches or bubbles or whatever. So bended edges. It's been rejected. It's not at your customer's place anyway. So he would ship you the whole load back if he finds 3 or 4 sheets like this. How does it work in reality? You can see here the stacker from our Ovation offline printing machines, and at the batch builder. So we're making batches in this case. This is probably a speed of 11,000 clicks. I don't know exactly. Where the light beam is, that's the scanner. So we scan each individual sheet and compare it to the golden master, to the golden template. As soon as we find too much dust, color shift, delta E variation, ditches, baseboard or whatever, we divert it into the chamber. That is at maximum speed. So this ensures that you just deliver good sheets. We also run a statistic how many sheets were bad, and you can provide this to your customer. Flexo means offset, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just finish with some other facts to close the loop on my presentation. Because offset, obviously you got a four-step process, whereas this post-print, you print die cut fold, you get 3 steps. If you go a step further with our printing machine adapted to a die cutter, the rotary die cutter HPL, you're going down to 2 steps, basically printing, die cutting, and afterwards folding. What we did new, because this was very often requested for preprint work, or printed sheets come from offset or digital or whatever. We built a cut-to-mark camera where we reaches the site and then reaches on our die. Short summary. We are able to print many different outside liners. Your process can be reduced to 1 to 2 steps and sheet speeds up to 14,000 sheets per hour. It creates a huge output in tons. Working with up to 126 inch, you can print and die cut one-piece packaging or multi-outs from F-loop to double wall. We use water-based inks. Yeah, think about flexibility. Think about this. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Andre. When I was looking through Andre's presentation, I saw these slides that had 6 a.m. on the top of it and a diaper box below that. It's been a long time since I've changed diapers, okay? And I didn't put that together, what he was trying to do, but it was great. It made sense. Okay, our final speaker is Tom Phillips. Tom is the product director for Flexo rotary die cutters and folded gluers for Bob's North America. He began his career at Bob's in 1995 as national sales manager for corrugated board, and in the past 23 years has served in various sales and sales management positions. Tom brings over 40 years of packaging equipment industry experience and his expertise, and is very active in both CAPI and AICC. Tom?
Thank you. Kind of easy going after these 2 gentlemen. They make it quite easy, going through all the advancements in the Flexo machines that we offer. And I'll be the first guy to tell you, you can't make a mistake. We all do things very similar. It's kind of like going to the ice cream store and trying to decide whether you want vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry. So instead of going over all the features, which we all typically have, we may have some slight nuances, whether it's the vacuum transfer, feed rolls, registration systems, whether it be a print register system or a sheet register system, quality systems, automatic analog scroll change. These are features that we all share. We all just do them slightly different. So how do we tie this all together? There's kind of been a common theme here about automatic registration and taking the operator out of the process. As most of you know, printing is a long process where you have to work with the paper, the inks, the plates, the analog scrolls, and it takes your expertise to match those things. So what we have developed is a process, and we call it THQ, and it's a game-changing technology. And basically what we're doing is we're tying all of these things together. And what is it? THQ is French for very high quality. Cords may be able to help me out with the exact pronunciation. And it's available, the beauty of this is it's available on all new equipment and on retrofits on existing equipment. You'll notice a common theme of fixed architecture. My friend Martin referred to no pits. We can do either a pit machine or a high board line machine. And that really started as an ability to change the colors that you weren't using while you were running other colors. Then it's turned into the ability to quickly change analog rolls. And because we don't have the sheet in one nip or the other on a multiple color job, it gives us the ability to do those adjustments. So fixed architecture has basically become the norm in the marketplace today. So THQ, as I said, is outstanding quality. This was a process that was worked in conjunction with a company out of Europe called Grapholabel, who is very large in the web industry, really known for anti-counterfeiting, graphic solutions for the web industry. We've taken this technology and we've now applied it to the sheet fed industry, and it gives you the ability to differentiate yourselves from your competitors. And as Andre referred to, offer outstanding print quality in the offset to compete with the offset printing. Okay? Gives you the ability to increase your market share with this unique technology. Gives you the ability to reduce your cost in printing plates and ink, because with this process, everything is 4-color process. There's no 2 blacks, it's 4-color process. You would have the ability to add a Pantone if you wish, but the premise is to run all your work as 4-color work. Okay? So it's unmatched quality. So what is THQ? THQ is a turnkey solution, taking all the variables and bringing them all together. So there's no printing skills required, as Andre said, as far as the machine setting up. So what we're now doing is we are controlling the analogs, we are controlling the ink, we are controlling the plates, and the artwork. So what does that mean? That means you get guaranteed results in one pass with repeatability, from job to job to job, or from machine to machine to machine, in multiple locations. Easier to operate, everything is done in one pass. I think Andre uses 65 to 70%. I agree with him. That number is probably for corrugated, and what we use is probably in the 80 to 85% range. With this process, there's a drastic wash, getting rid of wash, I can't even talk today, guys. Dramatic reduction in washboarding, and we get perfect color density and solid printing. Right colors, and the ability to transfer litho into graphics. One thing I'd like to make a note on as we go through this. We're talking about machines here and we're focusing on graphics. The beauty of these machines today, you notice speeds of 12,000 an hour, 14,000 an hour, we're at 12,000 an hour. These are machines that are capable of producing 3.2 million square feet in an 8-hour shift. The world record on our machine today is 3,171,000 square feet in 8 hours. Sure, it's only one order. It's still almost 3.2 million square feet. Okay? So it's a production machine that also gives you the ability to do high graphics. So a lot of us don't have enough graphics to run exclusively graphics, so we also have to run production. And that's where the beauty of THQ comes in. You put THQ on the machine, and you run your graphics jobs, and then you can easily convert back to other liners, as we talked about for the analog roll change. THQ now gives you the ability to do anti-counterfeiting. We can print down to 3 microns for ultra-high resolution. Current HD flexo printing we see in the marketplace today is about down to 10 microns. So with THQ, you're going to see some anti-counterfeiting. It's used today, as you all know, in pharmaceuticals and other industries. Perfume is an example. We now have the ability to offer this in corrugated. Okay. I'm going to give some examples here. These happen to be European numbers, slightly different here, as you guys know. But if we look at decorative packaging, it is still a small percentage of the market. The majority of boxes, I believe it's like 67%, are what we call one or no color. So we're really looking at a small market here, and we're competing against post-print, pre-print, litholam, and others. So it's how you create your niche in that marketplace. As I said, this is available on new equipment and retrofits. It's across a broad range of machines, not just rotary die cutters. We have this technology available on the Bob's Masterflex HD, the new Bob's Masterflex XL, our DRO in all three sizes, and any of our FFGs, as long as they're fixed. We're seeing more and more inline processes. On the West Coast, as an example, there's over 8 6-color machines, 6 or more color flexo-forward ruler machines with IR dryers, UV, ink control, doing things in one pass. I really like the graphic that Andre used showing taking the processes from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2. Well, with an FFG, we can take it down to 1, because we can do it all in one pass. So it eliminates the need to fold in a separate operation. The more operations you have, the more waste you have. What is THQ? What does it come with? As I said, we're controlling the process. So the analog rolls are provided. Very, very, very high line string, over 1,000. We have the software management system. We have the register management system, which is a system that gives you ultra fine adjustment for analogs, ultra fine adjustment for impression, helpline through an internet or Ethernet connection. We supply a couple set of plates from our preferred plate supplier. We supply the ink, and for a retrofit, we come in and we do an analysis. We make the changes that we need. As far as prerequisites for this system, I think this was gone through by my colleagues. We have to have dryers, to have the ability to dry on the substrate. Ink management system is a must. I tend to agree with my counterparts. Color or temperature control is probably the most important. That will help you with your viscosity and your pH. Because of the high screen of these analog rolls, we highly recommend having analog roll cleaning on the machine. Printing plate thickness, 185. Like my colleagues, 3 millimeters of adjustment, so you can still run 280 on those brown jobs that you want to run at high speed and high productivity. And we offer an additional plate cleaner. So just a little short video on THQ. Okay, so THQ, differentiate yourself from your competition. Increase your market share, cost reduction on plates and inks. As Martin said, they have a machine available to come see fourth quarter. We have a machine on our floor. I'm sure Andre would love to have you visit as well. So you can knock us all 3 out in one visit. So please consider coming and taking a look. This is just a sample that we ran off of our Masterflex XL. Obviously this was not die cut. But to give you an idea, guys, this is 4 color. If you look at the wine bottles on the bottom, look at the different metallics. This is a single black. It's not a double malt black. I'm Tom Phillips. Any questions, please don't hesitate to get to Jack or to send me an email. Sorry I'm short and sweet, but I just didn't want to keep repeating the same things. And thank you very, very much for the opportunity.
I want to thank Tom for that. I look back at where we all started at about 35 years ago on the higher end of corrugated direct print, and I'm just stunned by what these gentlemen's companies are doing. We started out with an old box press a whole bunch of years ago, and lots of manual setup, lots of time, getting the machine ready, and we still do that to some extent. We do have some questions prepared. We also have some stuff for you guys. I think I can do. Right, there we go. Okay. The first question I have, we'll just kind of go round robin on this. Martin, we'll start with you. Given the amazing technology introduced for direct print corrugated, what's the one thing our industry needs to work on improving next? Is it plates, or ink, board quality, or something other than that?
Productivity is a big issue, but I believe also in the area of inks, it's necessary to keep them stable. I see a lot of companies not using ink conditioning yet, so I believe it's definitely an area where I would be considering.
I'm not got if I look at what I think is most important, I think it's the cleanliness and the maintaining the machine. We do a very poor job in our industry of maintaining machines. These are very high performance machines. There are a lot of cameras, there are a lot of photo cells, there are a lot of sensors, and that's what helps us to make these adjustments on machines. So I think that's something that's extremely important. And the other is we have the ability, guys, to do 5-minute setups. The machine is capable. We can't do that. So the make ready has to be done and prepared and ready at the machine to go. Uptime is everything. So we want to minimize downtime and maximize uptime, and you have a very, very good part in that by having everything ready to go at the machine side.
Yeah, the beauty is if you're last in row, you don't have to say that much. I think, because everything's said, I think the standardization is the most important part. So if you go to a corrugated plant, you get 150 different paper grades outside. There's no standardization in our industry, and this would help push our industry to corrugate pretty much forward if we would standardize to certain amount of papers, moisture, warp quality, etc. What should be delivered to converting machines in order to keep them running at the fastest speed.
Would you incorporate anything in there about wash point in terms of the quality of that paper?
No, I'm not about the grammage or the pounds. It's more or less the outside line is different. You got 50 model white papers. You got 10 different coated papers. All react different. For every paper, you would need different analog, so basically to be better. So.
Second question: as digital printing improves in quality and speed, what impact do you expect that to have on the future of direct print corrugated?
I should pass to Martin because he's the digital expert. It's great to have digital there. It can be a good challenge for the industry. I mean, if you have run lengths 500 or 1,000 pieces, 4, 5, 6 color involved, non-repeatable, so it's never be a second run. It absolutely makes sense. It could be a nice fit in our industry. If it is at the end of the day price competitive, because still there's Swisso involved, which can be very produced cheap, even if you have a 2 or 3 step with lamination involved. So let's see and wait. It's not there yet.
I'll speak because I think I might. I think the digital has a place in corrugated. I made a comment in my presentation about inline. With digital, it's standalone printing. then it's die cutting, folding, in some cases folding and gluing. I see digital making inroads with our machines as far as a hybrid flexo with digital. I see digital on inline laminators, perhaps digital, a simpler digital on specialty folder gluers, and ultimately digital on the corrugated, doing the pre-print on the corrugated. So it's early, as Andre said, but I think we'll see a lot of growth. There's obviously a lot of machines being sold in North America today as standalone machines. There is a market for it, but I really see the market trend to be a hybrid digital and flexo together in the same process.
Since we are also building digital machines, and we have also one demo center in Würzburg, in Germany, what we're using is a combination of both technologies, digital and flexo. So the machine has flexo units in front and in the back, and it is definitely possible to combine both technologies at one point together. Again, this is something where I agree. This is probably, I don't know, months, a year out, but it's definitely on the rise, let's say it this way.
As a follow-up to that question, where do you guys see the growth in direct print corrugated?
Agriculture
Okay.
is a growth area. I spoke about the West Coast and the number of inline flexo folder gluers going out there, the number of rotary die cutters that we both have and Mark and Sue have out there. So food tends to be a growth, and we don't know yet what e-commerce is going to be. I think Andre showed an excellent example of a 5-color inside, 1-color outside. So there's talk of keeping the outside simple, so keep the pilferage off your front porch and having that experience of opening. So and it's also going to depend on the life cycle of a product. When a product is new, the packaging tends to be more expensive and more dynamic. And as the product becomes established, they start taking costs out of the packaging, as you know, and then it can become something quite simple.
Let's speak a little bit from Europe compared to US, because the question is tricky to answer. Europe is totally different than US. For North America, I think a growing market is the shelf-ready packaging. 20 years ago, when Aldi starts, or 25 years ago, when Aldi starts in Germany, to take off, not starting, but starting to take off, it was simple, one color work, like Lidl, same way. And soon labor cost is pretty expensive all over the world, and it's getting more expensive all over the world. I think even North America will face a big move to shelf-ready packaging, and that's probably the main market which comes in the future, because that's tons of paper to sell.
Anything you'd like to add about that?
A little bit. Tom covered the agricultural part. I see that part growing because of simply the way people eat and think more fresh food and things like that. There will be definitely a high growth in that field. It's the only thing I can. I think the other fields are actually normal kind of growth.
As more and more companies, and I hope there's some of them here who are moving into the high end of direct print corrugated, what kind of things should they be looking at? What questions should they be asking themselves about? What should I get? What should I plan? What should I do? Just generally, machinery, processes, people.
Controlling the process, quality, productivity, efficiency. You mentioned it's output. By the end of the day, it's output and concentrate on setups. That's what I say. Uptime is not just something which can be downtime, or downtimes may not just cause uptimes to go down. It's just simply the way of making sure that in operation the setup times of machines are kept in absolute minimum. So that's tying into process control, process.
Sure. Yeah. How would you attribute the work that goes into getting the job ready for press to that?
Part of it.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the first thing you have to consider if you're going to get into graphics is it has to be a fixed machine. It's a must. Because with a fixed machine, you can get these tools that we talked about, whether it's no crush, feeder, sheet registration systems, measuring ink registration systems, quality control systems. And the reason why you need a fixed machine is you can't have the sheet in 2 nips at the same time. So by only having the sheet in 1 nip at one time, it gives us the ability to adjust that sheet through cameras, through photo cells, and so forth. And I think you have to work very, very hard on the process itself. And with the ink company, with your analog scroll company, with your plate company, with your separations company, because those are the keys. We make machines that put dots down. And we guarantee we can put dots very, very close together, and we can skew the dots, we can move the dots forward, we can move the dots back. But we're not producing the plate, the analogs, the ink, and the separations. So controlling those will also be a huge, huge benefit.
Also, I think it would be a repeat.
Okay, perfect. Are there any questions out in the audience before we've got a couple more that we can read, but I thought I'd open the floor up.
How many people are running 150 LPI jet print right now?
Well, I mentioned it with this, and I can't tell you about the whole industry, but our users, that's about 10 to 15%, that's what I said. That's pretty much a good value. It could be a little bit higher, maybe 20, but again, that's just our users. You know, I would say the majority is way below 85 in total.
Totally agree. I think we see more of it in Europe. Less here. We tend to do a lot of litho-lam here. We see very little national account business here in Flexo because you haven't been able to get repeatability from plant to plant to plant. And it's really an effect of the new technologies that are available. So there are a few, it's a handful here that are doing it. Some even higher than 150. And you take certain techniques of separations that can be hybrids, you actually can have screening in the area of 200 where you can find screening. So right now there's just a handful here in the States.
I cannot answer on this because I don't have any information on that.
Anybody else? Rick, you had a question? Or go ahead.
Yeah, in terms of the high end of the 150 LPI range, what market segment is that? Are you seeing that trend growth? Is there a specific market segment that you're seeing that? The higher end of 150 LPI?
Again, it can be agriculture to go after preprint on shorter runs. It can be consumer products. It can be food. It can be anything. It's basically chasing's not the right word. It's offering a solution to offset that you haven't had in the past. There are some people that can do everything, that have litho-laminators, that are doing litho-lam, that have post-print machines. So it's basically just providing a different solution, making, depending upon your capabilities, you can be a one-stop shop. But it just gives you a different way to attack both. We didn't talk a lot about preprint, but this new high-end stuff on sheet fed can attack preprint as well as what I call the litho-lam market.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. For example, a very strong business was the flat screen monitors at the beginning because there wasn't much screens being shipped. Maybe you would have need 10,000 boxes. That's all. Today it's much more. Probably back in preprint again. I don't know. But this was a typical box store postprint, which ran all day, night long with 150 lines, Panasonic and all brands involved. Different countries, fruit packaging, even produce is in 150 lines range. Doesn't really make sense, but that's the way it is. It's been shown in the supermarket, so that's the point of sale. Sales people and the marketing people which display the package in the supermarket, they know exactly what they need, but the orange of this brand is very low. So it's difficult to answer.
So for these analog screens, 1,000 line and above in corrugated, what are you recommending for cleaning agents, and how often do you recommend it?
I probably don't have enough experience with the new laser type cleaning process. I like ultrasound. I think that is a nice process. But those are difficult to put on press. So currently on press, right now, right, wrong, or indifferent, with this high account, probably the best is and don't cringe when I say this, but a baking soda type that is cleaning and vacuuming at the same time. With these high analog scroll counts and our history in this industry of not being the most, our cleanliness lacking, if I were an analog scroll supplier, I'd be very excited about these new line counts. As soon as you're finished running these rolls, they have to be clean. So the premise is, when you're running these rolls, and scheduling is very difficult. We have these 3-minute analog scroll chains, but if you wanted to go from one job to another out of this type of process, you could, but ultimately you want to clean these rolls as soon as you're through using them to prolong their life.
Cleaning is very important. I mean, especially with these line screens you're talking about. How often you have to do it is something really difficult to say. You're absolutely right. I mean, very frequent, of course, you find it gets old.
At least once a week. to put a number on the table. With 1,000 lines, you make your daily wash up on the press, but at least you got to put them outside. Or with a new unique system, I don't know, inside the machine, but at least once a week. And that's, again, make a standardization in your company. If you get a standard and your analog scroll are always on the same level, you're not going to fiddle around with the ink and trying to ask yourself, why is the picture not as bright and shiny as last time? Because the analog scrolls are very easy. So at least once a week on those lines.
Anybody else? First?
You represented a lot of automation coming into the machines themselves. What do you see as the characteristics for the abilities of the staff moving forward? Do you look for staff that's equivalent to background and effective
Well, it's a good question. I mean, of course, the lack of knowledge is pretty high. And that's not in North America, that's all over the world. It's the same problem. There are not really schools or apprenticeship program there which shows operators how to run the whole process. As a machine supplier, that's the reason why we did this, to take the operator out of the game. In the future, you will need a dog and the operator. The operator to watch the process, and the dog takes care that the operator is not touching the machine.
I could not have said that better. I could not have said that better myself. I was going to put in a shocking system so that when they did touch it, they got zapped. I think Martin referred to in his presentation HMI, and I think Andre did as well. Human-machine interface is everything. So the expertise, Cord, I really think is your supplier network. That's your expertise. Because we're trying to make the press as operator-friendly as possible, the press to do and maintain the functions through automation, and I think Andre said it great. You need one operator watching everything, but not touching everything. So what happens is you buy one of these new presses and you have someone that's been running your old rotary die cutter or your old press, and he's all excited and he's the guy you want to select for this press. He's going to struggle, or she's going to struggle, because they feel their worth is to do this and to do that and to do this. And we're trying to take that do this and do that out of the equation through all of these new processes and optimization, camera systems, inspection systems, ejection systems, and so forth.
Yes, I mean, absolutely right. One thing, the basic knowledge has to be there. I mean, yes, but as you said, Tom, I mean, it's not that the person who has the crude knowledge from an existing machine might be the right person to run a machine like this with that much of technology with us. So it's really something where I'd say the main operator needs to have a certain amount of knowledge. What flexography is all about, but really it should not be going to be. More important is that he does not have any, that there's not a barrier to touch a screen or work with, but I don't think that this is nowadays any more than an issue with operators in the field.
Anybody? Go ahead.
So along Corey's lines, so this morning we saw the first process going through machine study here at the FTA decades ago, which is kind of a complete process from start to finish. So there's about the machine, but there's also the front end and the back end, so the ownership of the supplier network to understand the simplified process. Are you guys looking at integrating or utilizing some of the training the FTA offers on basics of the flexo process for the first certification and the first books into any of your training systems that you're putting out with those solutions, and into a plant that maybe doesn't have the front end understanding of the press and ink management and everything else?
From my side, yes, we are offering those. In Germany, we're doing those, and here in the US, we're doing this. We have people here who are capable of doing this, all up to a degree. So it's something where you cannot be a trainer for the basic processes.
So first is our standard process, our specifications and tolerance document that the FTA has developed. We're not expecting you to do all of it. There's a whole book that probably helps you in that direction. You saw this morning's session. I don't know if you've seen the first book. It's a specification and tolerance.
They probably don't. We're guilty. We did not.
Well, and the reason I asked
I do not know this.
Okay. Well, and the reason I asked the question is it's being adopted a bunch of the pre-press side, and ISO is accepting it. It's becoming more and more of an ISO document. So it might help you along with what your tools globally are.
I think as a manufacturer, any outside training that we can get is imperative. We've worked very hard on the process itself, not just being this sounds corny, but we're not a machinery company that does service work. We're a service company now that offers machinery. And when we do get an order, we start with a process specialist from PO to pre-install. And that person is there to make sure that all the processes are in place, the people are in place, the flow into the machine is adequate, the flow out of the machine is adequate. Then we come in with another team to do basic machine training. And then we have other training for just die cutting as an example, and we have other training that we have for printing. With a machine purchase today, the minimum training we would offer would be 8 to 9 weeks. In the old days, you bought a machine, you got 2 to 3 weeks training. And half the time it was the guy that was installing the machine who was still tweaking on the machine, and oh, by the way, showing the operator how to do things. We have pre-assessment and post-assessment for every training session, so we're really, really focusing on that aspect.
Yes, 100% true. I can't add anything to it, maybe except what I mentioned earlier. It's not easy with no standards. How, if you go to a company and he says trouble with, let's say, a simple item, he doesn't reach his full solid print. Could be the ink, it could be the paper, it could could be the plate. You start questioning what shore hardness of the plate is, what kind of thing is the viscosity right, what kind of paper is it? Again, so now out of my 150 in the stock, I don't know, it was the cheapest because it was a price tag, I had to use a cheaper paper. It is really difficult for us to get very detailed into it if there's a problem with the customer. If you set a standard, it's easy.
So my suggestion might be, just as a side comment, and some people in this room know, I've spent a lot of time on your floor, so, but we're part of FERC because of those issues when I entered the market for you. So if you have time before you depart, I suggest you stop at the FTA. This is an easy, nice, hand somebody a $90 book. Sorry. It doesn't solve the problem, but it gives them a reference point when you walk out of the building. So.
It's a great idea. I just wanted to make a comment. It's a little harsh, and if it comes across that way, I don't mean for it to. We can prepare you as best as we can with all the training up front, preparing you for the output of the machine, preparing you, so forth and so on. But we can't run your business. We can do everything in the world to help you, but the commitment comes from the top. And I think you said it best. You have to have processes, controls. They have to be in place.
And the base of the book is process control, so it might just support what you're trying to say.
Agreed. Thank you.
I would add to what Tom said there in terms of we, the converters, have got to be people who own what goes on that press at the end of the day. So it's up to us to adopt first and to put it into the plant and make it work. Some support from you guys is great, but we've got to be the boots on the, on the ground, and that's
suppliers too.
Yeah.
As a supplier, we support it.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything?
You talked about automatic registration control. Is there automatic impression setting at the start?
The setting in between the gap control between compression and print, so that there are the other things. Yes. Yes. And that's what I can say for us.
The answer is yes, and the answer is no. There are ranges that the machine will start. The beauty is, as the machine is running, it's reading each and every sheet, so it makes those minute adjustments as it's inspecting the sheet. So it's very, very close, and that's, I think I've already used the word 5 minutes. Basically, you mount the plates, and you start running the machine, and the machine will register itself and make those minor adjustments. It's just like die cut impression on a rotary die cutter. You don't keep the die cut impression engaged. You do it after the sheets go through, because you want kiss impression with everything. So the adjustments are made as the machine is reading and registering whatever it is you're looking for on the sheet. Is it the register system, as Andre showed? We have one called Registron, where you're registering using cameras to look at printed marks, which takes the leading edge to first color registration out of the equation? Or is it a system where we're measuring the sheet? Or is it an image? So the answer is yes, but the answer is no as well, because it doesn't start exactly where it needs to be. It can be starting at the saved position.
Yeah, we know the caliber setting, so we set the print plates and the impression of the envelope throw and the top pressure to a certain amount that you would have first sheet good. And again, it's about standardization. If you have a stack of corrugated sheets, it just came off the corrugator, you can be sure the last one is a couple thousands of millimeters smaller. That's hard to detect because I need some points to look at. And so it's, yes, we do automatic adjustment, but on the other hand, no, we have to rely kind of on the operator. Otherwise, I would have put at least 5 print marks on the corners and one in the middle to look at and then correct. It's easy, it's not difficult, but you have to have some control items, and nobody wants to have a dot in the middle of the image.
Anybody else? Jack, do we want to ask the rest of these ones we got? Are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay. I'm good. Okay. Just want to really make sure that we thank everybody for showing up today. We're really looking forward to keeping this going. With more corrugated people here. We really thank the FDA for stepping up and providing more support and a lot more marketing and things like that to help us out. I'm on the wrong page here. This is what Jack yelled at me. So please give a nice round of applause to our speakers. And if we pretty please fill out the app, we would love to see your feedback. We can't get better if we don't know what you think.